Hi guys, it's Aegis here. So today I'm going to talk about the Hong Kong Vanguard Fes, which happened on the 21st of August, which is about 2 weeks ago. So you probably have already seen me posting like the first round to the fourth round matches before we actually get to the top cut. So that basically all the rounds that involved it. If you haven't watched it, feel free to watch the matches. Some of them are very intense, so I do recommend you go to have a look on that. So talk about this event is actually a big event that we have not been having for quite a while, for almost like a year, because of the pandemic, that we cannot gather a lot of people to actually hold events. We sometimes even can't get out to locals to play, so it's a very valuable chance to actually for the players to gather together and play with their favorite decks, or like whatever deck that they prefer to win games. And more importantly, this event is actually a free tournament, so we will need to have 3 people in a team, and each of them using different nations to actually compete with other teams. And for round 1 to round 4 is actually a one-off, so all 3 team members fighting the corresponding team members of the other team, and they're just going to do a best of 1. But once you get into top 8, we are starting a best of 3 matches. So which is why I still need a little bit of time to actually like combine and edit the top tables videos, because it's instead of like taking care of 1 match, I'm taking care of 3 matches in 1 video. So do stay tuned for that. I will be posting them once I'm ready, so do give me some time and they will be ready. Now for the event is like, before I talk even deeper on like the nations or deck Rideline ratios and what decks combination actually top, we instead of this free tournament, we also get like a side event. The officials, like the distributor, is calling it the Nation King event. So it's kind of like, if in Japan for the Nation King we are actually playing for a nation specific over trigger, but with this event, because it's a Vanguard Fest event, what we are getting is our like original nations over trigger. So just like the Dragon Empire, that you get the restand over trigger, but in a gold foiling with, I think is with the Vanguard Fest kind of wording there, instead of the actual Nation King overtrigger, which I believe is a generic version of the overtrigger that you get 2 times as giving 100 million. Yeah, so that also happened, but during that like actually going on, I'm taking care of the top table matches, so I didn't like take a look of a lot of stuff there, so I can't talk too much about that. But at least I do see people actually winning those overtriggers, so I hope they all having fun there. And also my friend Hildolf, he also get to showcase his shadow boxes like near the venue, so you will also see some pictures, see some like a little video footage that I have that with him actually like his creations with us. So yeah, there we go. You can see a lot of different creations that he made, like the maelstroms, and then like the gear beast, a lot of stuff. So yeah, So if you haven't followed him, make sure you go follow his Twitter. It's not hard to find, and you can see the giraffe right there that he made for me that I also cover, and also his Rideline creations. That it's not that easy to see because it's a big piece, and he don't always take everything out to showcase. So yeah, again, do make sure you follow him, and then see what he gets updated, and sometimes maybe I also get to cover them. So I think it's good to know, right? Yeah. So now let's quickly get back to the tournament part with the ratio. So here is the Rideline ratio that a friend of mine made. He's also a helper in the events, and he allows me to actually use this because I asked him for the permission to, so that I don't need to do it myself. You can see like different Ridelines with the Japanese names and their percentage, and I can actually tell you the numbers. So we have 2 PBO, 4 of the Figura, which is the cater Rideline with the light and dark and keep rewriting, resetting stuff, and then 4 Bastion grade 4, 1 of the HASATA, 1 Youthberg, 5 Overdress, which is Mahane, not the new crossover dress, 5 Overlord, 2 Basagra, 1 of the Drag Geld, so it's the Dragon Jewel, the new Dark States Dragon, and then 2 of the Barrel Magnus, 8 of the grade 3 Boost, no grade 4, 1 Greedon, 1 Alchemy Magic, which I believe is a Grave Sauger from my memory, and then there's 1 Leonor, 4 Flagbird, 2 of the grade 4 Magnolia, 5 Seraph, which is Prison grade 4, 2 of the Office, 5 Meteor, and 1 Loronero, 4 Kyrie, and 2 Shaolin King Asakura-yo. Yeah, so it's very interesting to see people willing to take Asakura-yo. It's not a bad deck, but compared to like the main support we have for the main set, they still kind of lacking a little bit stuff, I think. But it's good to see people willing to take this deck out, because collab decks is a different way to attract people to actually get into Vanguard, and if they are willing to take it to a tournament, which means the promotion way is kind of working, right? And you can see with Bruce we have like 13%, which is like a very high ratio compared to all of them, because like the next highest is 8%, which is almost like half of 13, almost. And it's Bruce. So Bruce did prove with the new support, which I believe is Julian, the new grade 3, that actually helps the deck a lot, and you don't need to use the grade 4 again. And one of the actual champion team is also using a Bruce, so you can also look at how players actually build the deck for your reference. And then for 8% we have like Meteor, which is kind of understandable that you can go YOLO, you can go for a precise play if you manage your Meteor very well. If you have high power with crit, with a sudden double trigger chance, so there's a lot of things happening with Meteor, and it's quite stable. And I do see people actually using like 1 to 2 world cards to like create a shadow army token to help pushing all the stuff happening. Yeah, so there's a lot for Meteor as well. And then Prison is still very stable, being annoying, drain your opponent's resources, and with high power punches with crit, it's still a very scary deck. And then the Overdress is actually what kind of blows my mind, because I never thought it would be like that much, and not even a single player using the crossover dress. So I think we do need to see more support for crossover dress in order for people to actually take it to tournaments. Because in Hong Kong we are in a small place, and even though some shops are actually not easy to get from one way to the other, but the players are like kind of packed. By packed I mean like for example in Australia, if you are in Melbourne you won't go to Sydney, and Melbourne and Sydney players can have different kind of playstyle maybe, but in Hong Kong we like no matter how far it is, it's all like 1 to 2 hours travel max, and people are gathering very easily. So when we have like shop tournaments and such, you will always see specific people joining, and you can see the meta very easily, and people are choosing overdress, so there is something there. The deck is still strong, it's still stable, and also one of the champion deck is also using overdress, so you will be seeing that as well. And the other one is a prison deck, which I will also show you guys, so you can see how these Bruce, Nirvana, Seraph combination combined together, how they win games, right? Overlord is also an interesting pick. Because we have the promo like Flagbird, we do have the Busher magazine promo, so those two cards making the deck actually very strong. So we can see why people are actually taking in those decks. Vigrera is like a interesting superior ride and withstand engine, so it got its potential, but it's not being able to top yet, but we still see 6%, so people still love the deck. And the others, Kyrie is I was like thinking there's a lot more people actually taking Kyrie, but they probably think Meteor, Prison, Bruce, Overdress is a better choice. So yeah. And then Bastion is like so. It is doing okay, but it's not like very impressive, and some of the games are actually quite intense, like the round 3 matches that the Bastion taking the win is very epic, and you haven't watched it, I suggest you to go watch that match and see how intense that is. Yeah, so for the others, I think it's just kind of basic stuff, nothing too special. But with the new decks, we see Youthberg, we see Leonor, we see Dragfield. We just didn't see crossover dress, as I keep saying. So I do hope to see crossover dress being able to like being a choice for people to actually take in the deck and consider it as a good deck to play with. I really hope so, because if you give us so many new mechanics and people are still going backwards, then it might mean a good way that you keep giving old builds good support, but people are choosing old builds rather than new builds, then it might starting to affect sales, right? So hope to see things starting to change a little bit. But overall this matter, I think, is quite healthy here, even though it's a 3-on-3 format, but still it's like basically every deck or every nations get to shine, so that's a good thing to know. Okay, so after talking about this, I think we can actually go into like what decks actually win or actually topped, right? So I only can show you guys the champion decks because that's the only deck list that is made public by like the tournament organizers and also by the players. The other ones, I have to say I do have them, but it's not something that I can share publicly. So unfortunately, if you ask me like what's the second place teams, The deck list I can't actually share with you unless they share themselves and actually find them like online. Now, the one of the lists is the Sarah Snow. So this one is a deck list that I find on the Hong Kong Vanguard Facebook page. Unfortunately, this is the only image that I can have. I did check the player's socials, but unfortunately he didn't post it up until the moment that I made this video. So that's all we can have. And like some key points, I think is still like Prison from deck, the promo, Prison from hand, the new grade 2, which allows your opponents to draw one back. At first I didn't feel this deck like very strong, but when it get to the moment that your opponents are not having a lot of resources, you might just take their 15k shield away and give them a 5k shield, and that sometimes changes game. And the great one that call herself is helping the deck to adjust numbers, squeezing your deck so you can get triggers a lot easier, which is quite interesting to see. Now, the other two, one of them is a Nirvana deck. So this deck is actually quite simple. That what you do is you keep using arcs to try to draw cards. You use your great ones to keep searching overdressed parts from deck, from drop, and then you just keep like using Mahana skill to bring out a trickster to do overdress, and then dealing damage if you can. And if you just get into Experidia, you just go in and just do multiple punches. Very stable. And you also get to use the Festival Collection support to superiorize into grade 4, so you can actually get your plays a lot faster. Yeah, so overall I think the deck is still very stable, and I can understand why people are taking this deck in, because after I see a few matches with this deck, it just always have a lot of hands, and what you need is kind of top decking a overdressed cards. You have one Nirvana in soul, you just use a skill, bring a trickster back, deal 1 damage, you go overdress, and you go all in, and you keep doing it every single turn. So it's what we see from like old Kagero that is very stable. That's what we see. And also here is a Bruce deck that you can see the actual content is quite simple. Like you have the great ones to switch out cards, you have the doggy to actually draw your cards, and then you have the grade 2 to have you like soul charge and maybe call another unit out, and then you have Marjorie to basically soul charge 2 and draw 1. You have your new grade 3, I think it's Julian again, that helps you also soul charge, adjust number, and maybe calling some stuff. And then for orders, people are getting back to Hell Dive, that plus 10k to the front row, draw card, call 1. That just make it simple, because it's like you just need the power instead of soul charging, because you have so much soul charging sources. You just need to use them correctly, and you can pull 5-6 attacks every single turn with big punches in final rush. You press on right, you use Hell Dive, that's already a 20k plus each to your front row units, and if you do like 5 attacks at least, that is going to be annoying, right? So I think the deck is quite complete this way. Maybe we can get like different supports to make it even stronger, but so far it's not a like 100% win rate deck, but compared to so many sets before, it is already a good deck right now. Yeah. So yeah, that basically the champions deck list. So if you have any like questions, do feel free to let me know, and I will be pushing out the top 8, top 4, and finals matches to you guys as soon as possible. There will be a total of 3 videos, and each of them will consist of one of the team players, like what I did on round 1 to round 4, and then it will be 3 matches in one video, because it's a best of 3. Unless the player get 2-0, then there will be 2, or if not, then it will be 3 matches in one video. So again, it will take me some time, but I will get it done, and you will see it very soon. And hopefully we can actually have more events like this in the future, which I do heard there's something that is coming up, but I don't have the info just yet. And when we do, I will share with you guys what's happening, and hopefully I can just keep recording these matches, doing these kind of reports to let you know what's happening in Hong Kong, with what decks is topping, what kind of decks we see, and then how players are actually playing it and get the victory. Yeah. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment down below. Like this video, subscribe to my channel for more this kind of matches, reports, and I also do, of course, deck profiles, unboxings and such. So do give me a subscribe and watch my content, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below, and I will answer them. Yeah. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.